Welcome back to Dark Whispers. Last time, Scheherazade wove the tale of the merchant who survived his encounter with an enormous bird of prey by appeasing a tricksy Jinni. Though the wily spirit granted him boons, warned him of danger ahead, the merchant pressed on, ignoring the advice of the supernatural being. As dawn arrived, he was forced to seek shelter in a cave, where he heard the whispers of three strange old men huddled around a fire. They regaled him with bizarre tales that defied logic. But as the sun began to rise, they vanished, leaving him alone with his thoughts and a warning about a powerful Genie guarding a nearby lamp. Just as the merchant reached for the lamp, the fiery demon appeared. Frightened, the merchant fled, and thus our story ended. But as the night wore on, Scheherazade continued with her captivating narrative. She spoke of a humble woodcutter who discovered a magical ring that transformed him into various animals. This enthralled King Scheherazade, making him forget his previous anxieties. However, as the first hints of dawn touched the sky, the princess stopped her tale abruptly, leaving the king hanging on every word. Eager to hear more, Scheherazade relented, granting her another reprieve. And so it was that on the following night, Scheherazade began a new tale. Once upon a time, beside the vast expanse of a great city, there resided a poor fisherman. He was a man weathered by time, his back stooped with age and hardship, his face etched with wrinkles, bearing witness to years gone by. His hands, tough and calloused, were a testament to his humble trade. Rough like the cords of his nets, hauling in the bounty of the sea. Each morning, before the sun kissed the horizon, he could be seen making his way to the edge of the boundless ocean. The worn fishing net draped across his shoulder, a silent promise of the day's toil. This aging fisherman, though blessed with a life by the sea, bore a solemn rule within his heart. A rule born not of pride or vanity, but of faith and respect for the rhythm of life. Every day, he would cast his treasured net into the sea only 4 times, never more, never less. To him, these forecasts held a sacred significance. He saw in them the threads of fate, a cosmic dance orchestrated by the hands of destiny. Some days, his net would return laden with silver scales and glistening eyes, providing sustenance for his kin. But other days, his children would face hunger, learning the hard lessons of life's capricious nature. On this particular morn, the sky was painted with the soft hues of approaching dawn. The waves whispered secrets to the shore, and the seagulls sang their mournful cries as the old man stood poised by the ocean. With hands gnarled by time, he raised his head towards the heavens and uttered a prayer, a keys, voice hoarse but fervent. O Allah, have mercy on me and bless me with a bountiful catch this day. For my children wait with empty stomachs and hopeful eyes. And with that plea echoing in his heart, he prepared for his daily ritual. With weary limbs, he cast his net into the churning sea for the first time. The salty spray of the waves mingled with the sweat on his brow. The net sliced through the water, disappearing into the watery depths. Then he waited, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon, his soul heavy with both hope and despair. As the net rose from its watery grave, it did so heavy with promise. Yet, when he pulled it closer, his dreams were dashed against the harsh rocks of reality. Instead of silvery fish, it was filled with nothing but mud and the stark bones of creatures of the deep. His heart, already weary from life's battles, sank like a stone in his chest. With a sigh that spoke of countless such moments, he set about repairing the torn net, his nimble fingers working with a lifetime's worth of experience. As the sky began to lighten with the approach of dawn, he cast his net into the sea for the second time. Once more, he felt the tug of anticipation, the surge of hope that comes with each new endeavor. But again, when he hauled in his catch, it was not fish that met his gaze, but a jumble of refuse and shards of pottery, remnants of a forgotten age, tossed and broken by the relentless waves. Disappointment settled over him like a shroud, stealing the warmth from his old bones. He cast his net a third time, his movements now imbued with the weariness of one who has known better days. The waves crashed around him, indifferent to his plight. And when the net surfaced, it brought with it nothing but rocks and seaweed, tangled and useless, mirroring the complexities of his life. Despair threatened to engulf him, but he would not yield. With the faint hope that kept flickering within him, he cast his net a fourth and final time. This time, the rope seemed to hold a different weight. The net fought against him as if reluctant to rise. His heart, ever hopeful, ever resilient, pounded in his chest. Was this the answer to his prayers? Was this the sustenance his children needed? With a final Herculean effort, he pulled, his muscles screaming in protest. The net tore through the water, rising slowly, steadily, until, at last, it was in his grasp. And then he saw it, secured to the net, almost like it was waiting to be discovered. Gleaming under the soft morning light sat an old bronze jar, its mouth sealed with an intricate design etched in an unknown script. Its surface glistened with an otherworldly glow, and its very presence seemed to hum with latent power. Intricate patterns danced across its surface, hinting at the mysteries held within. Overcome with wonder, the fisherman's weathered hands trembled as he reached out to touch it. In that instant, as his fingers brushed against the jar, a jolt of energy coursed through him, sending shivers down his spine. As if awakened from a slumber of ages, the air around the jar began to swirl. A thick black smoke erupted, coiling and twisting upwards like a living entity, writhed and roared, devouring the sunlight and plunging the world into an eerie gloom. The sea itself recoiled as if in fear. With a speed that belied his old age, the fisherman scrambled back, his eyes wide with terror. He watched as the smoke billowed and condensed, taking shape before his very eyes. And what he saw froze the blood in his veins. Rising from the smoke was a towering figure, vast and terrifying, like a creature straight out of nightmares. His form was that of a man, yet distorted and grotesque. His skin was the color of smoldering embers, and his eyes burned with the infernal fires of hell. Jagged horns protruded from his head, and his teeth were like the tusks of wild boars. The air around him crackled with raw power, and his very presence reeked of sulfur and brimstone. Chains of pure energy writhed and snapped around him, as if struggling to contain the chaos that surged within. And then the Jinni spoke, his voice like the grinding of tectonic plates, shaking the very foundations of the earth. All hail to Allah, the Lord of all. But woe betide the one who kept me imprisoned in this wretched vessel for untold centuries. With that, his gaze fell upon the fisherman, and the old man's blood turned to ice. In a flash of movement that was impossible for any mortal to follow, the giant reached out a finger, thick as a tree trunk, and seized the fisherman by the collar of his shirt. Lifting him effortlessly off the ground, he held the terrified man aloft like a puppet, dangling him above the raging sea. "Who are you?" boomed the Genie, his voice echoing with ancient power that dared disturb my eternal rest. "Speak, mortal, and prepare to meet your demise." The fisherman, his voice trembling, managed to stammer out, I am but a poor fisherman. I had no knowledge of your presence within this jar. I meant you no harm." The Jinni's laughter shook the very heavens, a sound that mingled amusement with cruel derision. "You claim ignorance, yet it was you who broke the seal of this jar, setting me free from my watery prison. By doing so, you have incurred my wrath, and for that you shall pay the ultimate price." As the Jinni spoke, the fisherman struggled to free himself from his iron grip. The power emanating from the creature was overwhelming, and he knew in his heart that escape was futile. Trapped between the merciless sea and the wrath of a vengeful spirit, he could do nothing but wait for his inevitable end. And thus, Scheherazade's tale reached its dramatic pause, leaving King Shahryar on the edge of his seat, eager to hear how the fisherman would escape the wrath of the colossal Jinni. And so, we leave our heroes hanging, facing their greatest challenge yet. How will the fisherman escape the wrath of the Jinni? Will his wits prevail over raw power? Find out next time on Dark Whispers. Till then, don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling tales and leave us a comment with your theories on what might happen next. We can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thank you for joining us tonight. Until next time, may your nights be filled with peaceful dreams and your days with joy. But beware, even in your dreams, the jinn may lurk, and destiny has a way of catching up, even in sleep. Now, go in peace, and may Allah be with you always.